Hello and welcome back to the Gay and Straight Talk podcast. I'm Jonathan,
I'm Paul.
and today we are looking at the gay perspective and the straight perspective on what was the comment you mentioned?
Um, what's the difference between boundaries and controlling? So, in
Oh,
relationships, obviously, some people have a boundary.
hmm
Some people will have things that are a go to and a no go to. But then there's also people who can have the boundaries, start to blur the lines, and start to control people as well.
Do you have a safe word?
Yeah, bacon saves all. Yeah. Um, because for me, like I've always been impossible in relationships. For like, it can be seen that I'm not caring enough, or I'm a bit sort of flippant with it because I have literally no control to people.
hmm
So then people who felt a bit insecure have kind of wanted me to have a bit more assertiveness towards it.
Right.
Whereas obviously there are the sort of boundaries, but my boundaries again are mildly loose. It's just when you get to the far ends of it, like, don't cheat, I don't want any part of that. So
Yeah.
I'll be gone instantly. There's no conversation, there's no let's figure it out. No, I'm gone.
Yeah.
It's literally like a computer. You do that, you colour outside of the line, I press delete,
That's
and
it.
that's it.
Yeah.
But then, going from that, I'm just thinking now of one of my old friends. He used to, thankfully, he's not as crazy as he used to be with it.
Controlling.
Very. And that was driven through insecurities
Right.
more than anything else. But he used to pay his old girlfriend's mobile phone bill. I think I've told you this before.
I
And
was just so he could see who she'd been phoning.
yeah, who she'd phoned and who'd phoned her. And it would have like the duration of the call on there as well. And he would sit there every month with his glasses on the end of his nose with his highlighters, marking down all these numbers. And he'd have a list of all the numbers that he knew, numbers that he didn't know, and he'd be like, right, 8 seconds on the 23rd. Who was that? And that's when, like, because I just used to humor it, like, what's he doing? Like, why would anyone do this? Surely it's better to be single than feel that level of
Yeah.
paranoia. And I just said to him, you do realize you could
I was
have
like,
a second phone. And it was kind of like, because he'd become so fixated on that topic, the idea of that had never entered his head. And when I said it, he just saw all the, like, oh my goodness. Like, it just all came flooding over him as if that wasn't because he was so ingrained, so dialed in.
but you've got to trust. I think there's a certain element you have to trust people.
Well, that's it. If you don't trust people, which he clearly didn't, that's where it all came
But do
from.
you think that's because someone in the past had been unfaithful to him?
Well, yeah, because they had. He also didn't have the world's greatest upbringing and didn't feel secure in the upbringing. He
Right.
didn't have a safe house.
Well, I don't think anyone really has the best upbringing.
Well, mine was better than his because he lived with me for half of it.
Oh, right.
It
Okay.
was just, like my mum was about, whereas his parents weren't about. Food in my house was made on time every time, so you had that food security. Whereas in his house, it was when his parents had come back from the pub with a takeaway, a Chinese or whatever, and they'd just be like, "Yeah, yeah, you can have this." So
Hmm.
it wasn't like we got you something too, and it was a nice spread.
Right.
So he didn't have the best of time, but then when he started having his own things, he didn't know how to manage it. And when it came
Mm.
to relationships, he was a disaster. It's nice to know that he isn't now, but it was horrible because every relationship that he had, the more controlling he was, they didn't work. There was
That
always that,
tells the breeze.
yeah, just a little bit. And it was always like everything was like a talk show drama. There was
Oh.
always so much going on. And I always used to look from the outside going, why would anyone want that?
I have this general sort of overview. If the moment you start talking about badly about your partner, the relationship's over
Do you mean to your partner or just in general?
to others.
Right.
The moment, I mean, yeah, you can have like someone like foibles, like say with myself and Rob. Rob's can be a little bit untidy at times, or he sort of when he's using the kitchen, brilliant food, absolutely fantastic food, but every pan is used and it's out everywhere.
Yeah.
Whereas I have like that tidy, got to be tidy, or it's visually got to be visually. It doesn't necessarily have to be clean, but it has to be visually tidy.
It's why you've
Uh,
got such a problem with me having a running machine in the kitchen.
yeah, oh, that's sorry. That's a boundary you've
Yeah.
crossed.
It is, and I could have got
I'm
rid of
sure you.
that ages ago,
Yeah,
but I
and
won't. So long as it winds you up.
yeah, I'll be coming. There'll be tinsel around it at Christmas.
You
Uh,
have spoilt the surprise.
oh, you gotta hang a bauble off it.
I've already had the idea that I'm going to wrap it in tinsel.
So yeah, so I there's those sort of things.
Yeah, there's a difference
So
in that.
there's
Like,
a
you
difference
can have
there,
your differences.
but
And
you don't have the conversation with other people discussing your traumas and like, oh, what's up, babe? The people,
DM me, babes.
yeah, but it's that sort of thing where your relationship becomes a topic of conversation for everybody else,
Yeah.
and then everyone else has an opinion about, oh, you should do this, you should do that. If someone says, like, I'm in a situation where I don't know if I should do this or that, or what the outcome of that would be, but not like, how will he react if I did this? But if some people just do things in a relationship to piss the other one off, and then to act all innocent. Oh, I did this with the best heart. No, you did it because you wanted
Yeah.
to stimulate a reaction.
Well, it's like when you and Rob do podcasts, and he has a problem with you not putting the microphone near your mouth.
Yeah,
Yeah, I share that with him as well. I'm just watching the level down there going,
Yeah.
is it even picking you up?
yeah.
Have you always been that way? Like, has anything changed for you then? Because, like I say, my mate, thankfully,
Yeah,
he's better now. He was an absolute.
Yeah, I think I was a really, really crap boyfriend previously because
Were you a cheater?
oh
Were you
god
ever
no,
a cheater?
no, none of that. That's always been my hardcore
Right.
no. I think sometimes where a weekend romance, someone had thought it was a bit more
yeah.
more than
But
a
you'd
weekend.
never made anything exclusive.
Oh,
So, it's
so
like,
yeah, so it was there was none of that. Well, I've sort of said I said, oh well, we've had great fun. It's great fun. We'll have to do it again. Oh, let's do it. No, so no, and it's just like yeah, um, um, but that's when you like shipped in someone from not overseas, but you ship someone in for the weekend and then ship them out again. But um, yeah, I think previously I was just desperate to have the relationship.
mm,
And anyone that showed me an iota of interest, I would try to become the best boyfriend that they had. And what they're interested in, I was naturally interested in. And it was da.
forgive the term, but were you more of a giver than a taker then when you entered newer relationships?
I think I don't know really. I just wanted them to like being around me.
Mm,
So I'd work out what made them tick and try to step into that thing of being the ideal.
right.
But then they would be happy and then they would do things that would piss me off. But I didn't want to show that I was pissed off with them. So I just put up with the shit until I decided I didn't want the shit anymore.
All right.
And then that was normally a bit of a surprise to them because then they'd invested that I'd become the boyfriend of like, oh God, he's brilliant, he's lovely, he's doing all of this and he's perfect for me. And then they would be doing things which would consistently piss me off, piss me off, piss me off, piss me off, and I wouldn't show any like that. And then I'd say, it's not working.
Fair enough.
Um,
Have you ever been in a relationship with control then?
no, not really. I went out with a I went out with one chap, lovely, really, really nice person, and really got on with him. He had lots of money, lots and lots of money. And the thing is, that was really lovely. And he kept buying me really expensive things. And again, that was really lovely. And then he wanted me to move in with him, give up my job because he lived down south. and he wanted me to move in with him, and he'd give me an allowance. And or in fairness, that was just like, oh, that sounds fantastic. I mean, part of me going like, oh, gleeful, 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 and I'm thinking, but what am I going to do? They said, oh, you can get a little job if you want one.
Get a little job, right?
And I was like,
So you-
that's, I'm kind
Sounds
of
like you're a little pet monkey that you could bring out
yeah,
every now and
and
again.
it did feel like that. I said, well, actually, I'm actually kind of a big fish in a small pond here. I'm not like a shop assistant.
No disrespect to shop
No, no,
assistants.
no, no. Just I'm not like a shop assistant or on a checkout queue. I'm actually pulling in a decent crack of money. It's not nearly as much as you're bringing in, but I'm paying my way.
Yeah.
And that was one which I ended, and he was just like, "Why? I've offered you everything." I said, "Yes, you have. That's very, very lovely, but it feels as though there's lots of strings attached. Well, you don't have to move in with me. You can keep the same job." And I was like, "I don't need your permission to keep my own job.
Yeah, you can keep your
I say
job.
my own job. I'm earning a shit ton of money for a lot of people. Admittedly, it's not a shit ton of money where it comes to respect for you." I mean, I think he was always surprised because I would always he would try to pick up the bill and everything, and I tried, and then he got to a point where if we go to a restaurant, I would give my card to the waiter and say, "Look, put everything on this. Don't give him the bill."
Right.
And then he'd get upset that I'd paid it because he wanted to pay for everything.
Well, maybe that's what he was used to, especially if he was trying to collect people.
Yeah, I mean, he was a slightly older chap, and but I said
So that's
no.
about as close to control that you've
That was
felt.
probably as close to control.
Wow, you've been nowhere near it then, have you? Which
Well,
is
he
great.
was trying to control.
Well, that could have been the start, couldn't it?
It could.
Like say if
I
he's paying
if
the
I'd had
bills
like a shit
and
day at work and I thought, oh well, actually, oh, fuck it, I'll go. Then I that could have
yeah, it
happened,
could have spiraled.
but I mean the thing is, I thought nice home, nice car, no debt, apart from a mortgage at the time, and I said I had money in the bank, and I said, look, yeah, that's really lovely, but that's yeah.
Hmm.
And I think he ended up shipping in, I think a a Mexican chap that didn't speak a word of English.
Well, how does that work? Unless it's just for what you need them
Mm.
for.
Well, and he actually married one that did speak a little bit of English, and then his English was it was really nice actually. His English was really good, and then he wanted to have to study to become an accountant. He did a bit of accountancy, and then went to London, and he rented him a flat in London so he
Flipping
could
heck, how much money
study.
did this guy have?
But he had lots,
Loads of
lots. Yeah.
money.
But then it got found out that his husband was renting himself out for some extra cash using the apartment. So he was studying a little bit, but he was earning a bit of extra cash as
right.
as a rent boy, as a high class rent boy. So that they divorced. He sent him back to Mexico. Then he shipped another one out that didn't speak a frigging word of English.
Pinnock.
And we still kept in contact for a good period of time.
Oh,
But
you had a lucky escape there. God
yeah,
knows what would have had you doing.
yeah, but I think I sort of intrigued him because of I insisted on paying things. 'Cause a lot of people just say, "Well, that's nice," because you can imagine like you can see that in straight relationships where you've got a wealthy chap going out with a much younger lady and picking up the tab, "I want you to be a princess,"
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
then
there is a lot of that.
but
There's,
then they start acting like a princess and being paid for everything, and then suddenly get really shocked and surprised when they're replaced with a new princess
yeah.
that's newer, shinier, and younger and more nubile.
Yeah, there is a lot of that, and there's even still that when, and this blows my mind, and this is probably going to destroy me, but there's people who don't have the worth who expect to be treated that way. So if you're single, you're paid okay, you look after your bills, you've got no
Yeah,
debt,
yeah,
and then someone comes along and you might chat and all is well, but then they might have kids, a crazy ex,
Oh.
and they still expect the same treatment you'd give somebody who didn't have a crazy ex and 3 kids. And then you say, "Oh, no, I'm not doing that.
That's
I'm
not
not
that.
yeah, you're not my princess. You were somebody else's, clearly."
So I mean, you come across that so where it was like, wait, I mean, I think the moment someone has, I was in the as a child in sort of like blended family sort of thing, and it's horrible.
Mm.
And
I
so
was meaning it more like, obviously, in my scenario that I've got there is that'd be like me expecting to attract the same attention Brad Pitt could.
yeah,
It's like, well, I haven't got that,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I can't
And
expect the
I think
same.
that with that one, it's not. So maybe she's looking to control you. So like, I'm a princess. I've got blah blah blah. You need to treat me well,
Mm.
and it's me and my family. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm
We
not.
come as a unit.
Yeah, oh yeah. So yeah, you are a unit,
Yeah.
love. Yeah.
Yeah, you look like a
Um,
fridge.
yeah, central heating gets replaced very quick after so many years. But I think that's not necessarily control. I think that's an element of entitlement in relationships, and I think a lot of people that do have, I mean, like blokes. I mean, we had a discussion in another podcast where there was women that were looking for guys but didn't want ones with kids,
Mm.
because it's just too much hassle. And I think that's a very fair point. But also for men looking for women with kids, too much hassle.
Mm.
And you can't control that
No.
because they might, if the woman sidelines the kid for the bloke, what message is that sending the bloke?
Yeah.
So, well, I can't have a kid with her because my kid's not going to be number one.
Yeah.
So
That's it.
so basically, if you do that, if she drops the kids to be with him, then he's not going to stick around
Mm.
because she won't stick around. Well, because basically, he sort of whatever kid you have with her is not going to be her priority.
Well, all right. So you've not been controlled.
No,
Could have been,
could have
but
been.
you don't know where it went. What are your expectations? What are your sort of boundaries that you set that you don't sort of compromise on?
No cheating.
Cheating, yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
That's pretty much. Oh, no cheating, no debt.
Yeah.
No, I can't. I can't.
I know you're very debt phobic.
Yeah, I'm very debt phobic, and um, so when I was working, I would only date. I wouldn't. I'm not going to keep you. You need to pay your way.
All right. Let's try and think of some scenarios for you. What about if you're with someone, so let's say Rob, for example, what day is it today? It's a Friday today, but let's say he goes, on Sunday, I've just decided last minute I'm going to go to such and such a place for a couple of days by myself. I just fancy seeing something and just chilling out.
Yeah,
Like if you would you go, oh, all right, yeah, no worries, is everything sorted? So it's very much, yeah, no worries. Or do you
yeah.
go, whoa, but what about me? Like,
I mean, we're not joined at the hip.
no,
Um, I'd like to spend more time with him doing nice, fun things rather than domestic things. But if he wanted to take a couple of days doing something, then that's not a problem.
what about the other way around? If it was you who was like,
I
I
wouldn't
just
have a
fancy a
problem.
couple of days in wherever, because I just like, so say you wanted to go and write,
Yeah,
for example, and you're like, oh yeah, I've got a mate in such and such a place and he's picked it up, but I want to kind of go by myself because
Mm.
I just want that headspace. I don't want to deal with someone and figure out what we're eating and all that.
yeah,
So for 2 days, I'm heading off to, I don't know why you would, but Milton Keynes, and just giving you the heads up. Would he be all right?
yeah,
Yeah. So it's very sort of chill, laid back.
yeah. I
So
mean,
there's the boundary lines of we don't cheat
yeah, it's
and we
not,
expect the
yeah,
other not to.
yeah.
So it's all good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. I mean, that's fine. I mean, ideally, I'd like to do more fun things because we've had pub traumatic stress disorder
Yep.
after offloading the pub, and I think so doing more fun things together because working together, living together while running the pub was challenging.
You're not going to join one of them like dance things that are on where you can learn how to ballroom dance.
Oh Christ, no. Although I'm watching Strictly Come Dancing, which is good fun.
It's not.
Oh, I quite like
It's
it.
terrible. I
What?
did finish Dexter.
Oh, did you?
I
Oh,
did.
that's good.
So that was good.
But the Strictly Come Dancing got a drag queen on it.
How's it?
Very good.
Oh.
It's
A
kind
drag
of fun.
queen, as in it's a bloke
Yeah.
dressed as a woman.
Yeah,
Is it the same name, or is it a drag king if it's a woman dressed
It's
as a man?
it's a drag king if it's a woman dressed as
Ah,
that.
never knew that.
So
All right. So do you know anybody though who's got a relationship? Obviously, no names, but let's find if there's any juicy gossip for within this topic where you do.
I do know of people that are in a couple that one of them is super controlling and needs to be in charge of the bank cards, needs to be in charge of where the phone where he is, where
the
he's
food that's bought, the tea that's made.
it's more where he is, what he's doing, where he's going. And I think that's got to psychotic standards. And but you do you. And
Yeah, it's a shame that people feel like they have to do
I
that.
say people have to work their own thing. It's more anyone looking to someone looking to control someone else is on a sticky wicket.
It is, and that I've always been accused of being the other way around. It's kind of like I don't care enough because I don't show enough boundary or control, or do you even care? If I go and do it, no, you do you.
Yeah.
And I've always been accused of I don't know. Maybe some people need to feel like you are a bit more controlling, even if you're not, because it helps them feel like they're more wanted. I don't know.
Special.
Yeah, more special.
Well, it's so demonstrative, and it's just. I think some relationships do sort of like so they feel like when someone has a heart attack and they've got like jolted.
Yeah.
Sometimes having a little bit of toxicity.
Do you want to know the thing that made me notice it or even recognize this type of thing? I was so much younger, but I remember thinking to myself, I am never ever going to do that. I never had the feeling as a kid, obviously, but it was it's this family. It's the mum, the dad, 2 daughters, and I knew one of the daughters. And there was this thing in their house where no one at all was allowed to touch the newspaper until the dad had read it. Like nobody was allowed to touch it. And I just remember the fear because I was like, what? Why not? What difference does it make? It's still the same words, the same print, as long as you don't screw it up in a ball, as long as you don't take a section out, what's the problem? Like you just can't. And I remember the lack of answer being a problem to me. Like saying you just can't. And they said that because it was a fearful feeling.
Right.
And I just always remember thinking, what an odd existence. Why would you, in your safest place, which is your house, why would you make it feel, tension? Why would you create tension in your own house when that's the place where you need it to be the most chilled place?
Some people get triggered by such small, pointless little things, and I say the small. Don't. I've always been along the line. Don't sweat the small stuff, but normally the thing that really pushes me over the edge is the small stuff. If
it's like the cherry on the cake.
Yeah, I mean, Rob knows that I get very, very triggered if there's a drip, a dripping trap.
Oh God, yeah.
And if there's anything wrong, anything broken, anything wobbly, I need it fixing. I can't tolerate anything.
I need it fixing now.
Anything that does not work in my house does not deserve to be in my house.
Is that an unemployed person as well? Just
no.
Invite them round. Do you have a job? No, get out.
That's my thing. I will not tolerate having broken shite things.
Can't
in my
deal
house.
with a dripping tap either. That is.
It's just and so yeah, drip tap, which is because noises and light will wake me up. So
especially repetitive noise.
Yeah, I mean if it's like a drip, I'm just thinking cost. I was like,
I'll replace your taps. I'm good at that.
But it's that is my trigger. Anything that is broken does not deserve any lifespan in my
Yeah.
home. Um,
You've
so,
expended your usefulness. Now
yeah,
leave.
so if a car breaks down, it's just like it's dead to me. So we went on a mini break to Yorkshire, and Rob has a stomach upset sort of thing. So when he gets it's like he has to take a sort of a medicine to calm it down if it's starting to up. And we went away, and he said, "Oh, it's been playing up since Wednesday. Oh, did you bring medication? Oh no." Right, you've been triggered with this thing. You've been told to take the medication
Oh,
to
my
calm it down, and yet it's Friday. You've had it since Wednesday, and you've not thought about getting. I mean, 'cause the tablets were in the kitchen at home, and we were in the car driving. Well, no, it was like 6 o'clock in the evening, so pharmacies were shut.
So
So
it's not like
and he
you
said,
could
"Oh,
do
it's
a.
been hurting for a couple of days. So have you taken any tablets since Wednesday?" No. What? So we're on a mini break. Meant to be having a
You're
jolly
losing
time.
your
You've got a
nut.
face like thunder because your stomach's playing up, and you've not taken any of the tablets we have in the house.
that are for your
So then
stomach.
we had to go out on Saturday, buy the tablets. I was like, take double of that,
Yeah.
to knock it
OD
out.
on it, mate. You
Oh,
need it
so
done.
sorry. We're meant to be both having a jolly time together, and you've known something's up, and you've not done anything about it. And I'm like, if I'm feeling unwell, I'll take medication straight away.
Oh, yeah,
That's
I'm all over it, yeah.
Headache, paracetamol.
I am not suffering,
yeah.
yeah.
I am not suffering. I'm not doing that, and I'm not inflicting me being poorly on anyone. And if I'm poorly, then sorry, I'm on a rant now.
Love it.
If I'm poorly, then I will take myself away from everybody. I am not going to malinger in people's company with me being unwell. I will be away from everybody. I will be doing me until I feel better. But I'm not going to be inflicting me being unwell on other people. So that is that. But no. So that yeah.
Love it. Can we end the podcast just on that? Because it's just, that's the best.
So, dear listeners, what grinds your bloody gears? Please, please follow us on all social media channels. That's a Gay Straight Talk. This is Jonathan signing off.
And Paul signing off. Bye-bye.
Bye.